March 23, 1945. Just before midnight. Somewhere near the Rhine River. Cold rain soaked the ground and turned the fields into black mud. An American infantry platoon lay flat, barely breathing. Across the darkness, 8 German machine gun nests waited. Steel barrels pointed forward. Ammo belts ready. The Germans felt safe. They had concrete. They had numbers. And the Americans had one strange weapon that looked like junk. The Germans had already laughed at it earlier that day. A short metal tube. Rough welds. No sights. No polish. One soldier called it a tin can on a stick. They were sure it wouldn't matter. By morning, they thought, these Americans would be dead or running. None of them knew that before sunrise, 8 positions would be smashed. And it would all start with that mocked little mortar. The man holding it was 24 years old. His name was Charlie Stevens. He wasn't famous. He wasn't an officer. He was just a corporal from Ohio who fixed farm tools before the war. His hands knew metal and mechanics. His father taught him patience. His mother taught him to stay calm under pressure. Those lessons from a small farm would matter more than any military training that night. His unit had orders to break through German lines before dawn. But every path forward was covered. If they moved, they'd be cut apart. Charlie looked at the clock. Less than 6 hours till daylight. Real quick before I continue, hit subscribe if you want more incredible World War II stories like this. We tell real moments like this every week, and what happens next is absolutely wild. Here's the truth the Germans never saw coming. In the next 4 hours, one man with that tin can mortar would fire just 32 rounds. By sunrise, 8 German positions would be silent. No return fire. No counterattack. Just smoke, fire, and shock. This is how one mocked weapon changed an entire night battle. Before the Americans landed in Germany, German soldiers felt confident. They'd fought across Europe for years. They trusted their guns. Their machine gun teams stopped attacks again and again. Concrete bunkers had saved them before. At night, they felt even stronger. They owned the dark. They believed American soldiers needed light and numbers. Without tanks or planes, they thought infantry couldn't touch them. They also believed German engineering was better. Their weapons felt solid, heavy, reliable. When they saw Charlie's mortar, they laughed. It was a modified 60mm tube. Shortened, light, easy to carry. American soldiers liked it because it didn't slow them down. German soldiers saw it and thought it looked cheap. They didn't think it could reach their bunkers. They were wrong. The American advantage wasn't just power. It was speed and freedom. Charlie's mortar could be fired from almost anywhere. No big setup. No heavy base plate. He could move after every shot. Each shell weighed just a few pounds. He carried more ammo than any German team nearby. Most importantly, he could fire fast. Drop. Thump. Move. Repeat. The shells weren't huge, but they were accurate. At night, accuracy mattered more than size. Charlie had practiced for months. He knew distances by feel. He counted steps in the dark. He didn't need sights. He listened. Wind. Rain. Echo. Each sound told him something. That mortar became part of him. He learned to read the battlefield like a language. Every ridge in the ground. Every hollow where sound bounced was different. He memorized it all. The hours before midnight felt endless. Charlie's platoon couldn't advance. They couldn't retreat. German machine guns had them pinned. Officers whispered plans, but nothing worked. Every idea ended with too many casualties. Then the lieutenant looked at Charlie. He asked if the mortar could do anything. Charlie nodded. He'd been waiting for the question. Just after midnight, the first German gun opened fire. Traces ripped across the field. Dirt kicked up inches from American faces. Charlie crawled forward. Mud filled his sleeves. He set the mortar against a rock. He dropped the first round. Thump. A short whistle. Then a sharp crack. The gun stopped. Screaming followed. German soldiers froze. They hadn't seen a flash. They didn't know where it came from. Charlie was already moving. New spot. New angle. Second round. Thump. Another explosion. Another gun silent. The Germans started shouting. Orders flew. Flares went up. Still nothing to shoot at. One German team tried to swing their gun. Third round. Direct hit. Concrete shattered. Men ran. Others didn't move at all. Charlie's hands shook, but he kept firing. Short bursts. Then silence. He waited. Listened. Moved again. By 2 a.m., 4 positions were gone. German officers tried to respond. They called for mortars of their own. But they couldn't spot him. Every time they guessed, Charlie had already crawled away. Rain masked the sound. Darkness hid his shape. His mortar spoke, then vanished. Behind him, American soldiers watched in disbelief. They'd never seen anything like it. One mortar. One man. Dismantling an entire defensive line. The 5th position fought back. Bullets snapped overhead. Dirt sprayed his face. Charlie fired anyway. Thump. Miss. He adjusted. Fired again. Direct hit. The bunker collapsed inward. The gun fell quiet. His ammunition was running low now. Every shot had to count. He couldn't waste a single round. By the 6th target, German morale broke. Some soldiers ran. Others hid. They didn't fire unless they had to. Every shot gave away their place. Charlie used that fear. He waited for a single burst. Then answered it. Thump. Explosion. Silence. The psychological warfare was just as effective as the explosions themselves. The Germans couldn't see him, couldn't predict him, couldn't stop him. Just before dawn, only 2 positions remained. Charlie had 6 rounds left. He crawled closer than ever before. He could smell smoke and oil. He fired at the 7th target. 1 round. Enough. For the last one, he waited. Nothing. No shots. No sound. Then a helmet rose above the bunker. Charlie fired. The final explosion echoed across the field. When daylight came, American soldiers advanced. They found 8 smashed positions. Some bunkers burned. Others were torn apart. German survivors sat in shock. Many asked the same question. How did one weapon do this? Charlie didn't celebrate. He was exhausted. His ears rang. His uniform was soaked. He just sat and cleaned mud from the mortar tube. To him, it wasn't magic. It was a tool. A simple one. Used the right way. His platoon moved forward through the gap he'd created. The mission succeeded. Lives were saved because one man refused to believe the weapon was useless. Later, German prisoners talked. They said the night felt endless. They said it felt like the Americans were everywhere. Some thought it was an artillery unit. Others thought tanks had broken through. None believed it was one man. When they learned the truth, many fell silent. 1 mortar. 32 shells. It seemed impossible. Charlie survived the war. He went home. He fixed farm tools again. He never called himself a hero, but that night followed him forever. He'd taken a weapon others mocked and proved it deadly. Not by power alone, but by skill and nerve. This wasn't a one-time thing. Across the war, American forces kept doing this. Simple ideas. Fast changes. Trusting soldiers to adapt. That's how they fought. That's how they won. While others waited for perfect plans, Americans acted. By 1945, the United States built more weapons than anyone thought possible. But numbers weren't everything. It was how they were used. A small mortar. A dark night. One soldier who refused to quit. That combination broke a line others couldn't touch. Here's the number that matters. In the final year of the war, American factories built more weapons than Germany built in the entire conflict. But on that night near the Rhine, one weapon mattered most. 1 tin can mortar. 32 rounds. 8 silent positions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more real World War II moments you won't hear in school. Next time, we're telling the story of a weapon that never should have worked, but changed the war anyway.